Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Chord is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time, the penultimate episode of Brightest Day. This time, Green Lantern 60 through 6. Well, this time, Green Lantern 60 through 62. So a certain Hal Jordan fanboy can breathe a sigh of relief. That's right. Don't worry. Once we hurdle past next week, after that, straight on the more of the Green Lantern film. All right. So, yes. So I heard you got your comic shipment, but you didn't read yet.
Yeah, I unpacked it like an hour or two ago, but then it was time for dinner and all that stuff. So it's literally right there. So.
Oh man, you weren't reading at the table. I was waiting for honey. How was your day? Good. What? The lantern? What?
Hang on a second, Phil. Let me just read real quick right here.
So did you get did you get all the books? Did you get your John Stewart and did you get your
number 9? And I've read 5 and 6 of War Journal, but not 7, 8, and then I've got 9 that came in today. Wow. So I've got 3 issues to catch up on there.
Okay. And I was gonna say
and Alan Scott too.
The last issue, Alan Scott, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, lots of good stuff to read.
Yeah. I think I mentioned last time. I think I saw, was it 12? I think War Journal's ending at 12. So
yeah, I think I was looking on the blog of OA. They usually do the solicits for Green Lantern stuff every month, and it was in the solicit it says the final issue. So
I wonder if they're going to start something else, or are we just going to be back down to one book a month now?
I don't know if they do.
I mean, it's better than the 0 we were getting, but
yes, exactly. If they do start another book, what I would hope.
Cal Rayner, because I of course love Cal Rayner.
Yes, of course you do. That needs to be a drop. But I would hope that they would kind of get rid of the backups because I feel like they're kind of cutting into the story that we're getting on a monthly basis, and that was one of the big problems that both of us had with that split book for the last volume of Green Lantern. It just never felt like we got a full issue's worth of stuff.
Yeah, because some books they've dropped it. Like I know Nightwing was doing it for a while, and I think the last couple they've been kind of dropping the backups. So,
yeah,
it's like a longer page, one of the bigger pager counts. So,
yeah, yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Green Lantern series has been great. Mm-hmm. The John Stewart series, I still just have a lot of questions because it seems to just ignore all of the stuff that happened before,
Yeah. I mean, Philip Kennedy Johnson's a great writer, but I don't know. Sometimes I think some people, I don't know if they don't know the past lore, if they just choose to ignore it, then I don't know. Sometimes it's just, for long-time fans, it's just like, okay.
Well, I mean, and say what you want, but, the Thorn Run established that John is an ascended being. He cannot die.
Mm-hmm.
He is different.
We ignore that whenever we feel like it. Because remember, he was a Guardian back in the 90s, and we just
That's true. Yeah,
he fell asleep and forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, his ring just disappeared. So yeah, there you go.
Where did I put that darn ring? Hey, where is everybody?
What happened to everybody? It's that darn Hal Jordan.
Oh, that naughty Hal. Yeah.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up on War Journal.
Mhm.
I mean, it's interesting. It's just, and it's good. But again, I think speaking for myself, I'm still looking for answers from
Yeah.
Volume 5, right? What the heck happened? Because it seems like parts of it happened, but parts of it didn't, because there are characters that are alive that were dead that are. What the heck?
I wonder if part of it too is just Philip Kennedy Johnson can only do so much because Jeremy Adams is kind of like driving the ship at the moment. So it's like
Well, that's possible too.
you
Yeah.
can work in between his
Mhm.
stuff, but you can't do anything that's gonna like alter or be like, oh hey, no, that's not gonna work with what Jeremy's got planned.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but if you're gonna give John a series, then build on what's come before, right? And I think right now, what has come before seems to be in flux. What
Yeah.
what exactly happened and didn't happen from the previous series that were taken away? I mean, the rainbow globe, is that what we're going to call that? I don't know. What's a good rainbow sphere? I don't know. Rainbow ball? I don't know. It seems to be where they're charging their rings, but that the other batteries still existed when they didn't. But anyway, there's a lot that's just, and I don't think that these are just nitpicky continuity things. These were big events that happened in the previous volume that
Mhm.
are either being hand waved away, or we're gonna. I mean, and first off, I trust Jeremy Adams to give us a really good story that connects all the dots, and because he's as much of a continuity nerd, I think, as we are. Um, but it's been 2 years since that series ended, over 2 years at this point, right?
I think because then we had the year gap, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just it'd be nice to have some answers now.
Yeah. And again, in War Journal, it'd be nice to kind of like touch on John's status, kind of explain, from
Mhm.
what we got from the last volume to here, especially since John's kind of off on his own and everyone else is kind of like
Yeah.
in the main Green Lantern book.
I mean, and they're tied together because of what's happening with United Planets and
Yeah.
Veron and all those things. But you would have thought that John would have said, "Oh, hey, my sector partner, former sector partner is maybe I can call him maybe or Kyle or
Mhm.
Joe or Guy or Simon or Jessica."
Or, I mean, I guess John was so far off the beaten path, maybe he doesn't even know any of them have a ring still, or.
Mhm. I mean, that's possible too, but as an ascended being with access to all the power that he has, you would think he would just be able to send them a message, right?
I mean,
Who knows?
you can create a kid sister, so yeah, I don't know, see why not.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I understand doing things for dramatic effect, but this just seems like things are being ignored.
Yeah.
And again, I've still got 3 issues to catch up on, so I can't necessarily speak to that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I can't
hopefully,
wait. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I can't wait for you to read the regular Green Lantern issue. I want to see. I want to get your thoughts next episode on the United Planets secret. The council has a secret, so it's a big secret. So
okay, I shall read it forthwith and post haste.
all right. So should we
But
get
yeah,
to? Yeah.
yeah, I think so. These, just as kind of a little bit of a preamble, this whole new Guardians arc, don't get me wrong, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The art's great. I think the writing's good, but it feels a little bit like filler, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it seems like we're kind of trying to keep pace with Brightest Day, and Brightest Day, like we've said, has kind of been the
Treading
pace
water.
kind of been. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we we've had, what is this, like an 8-issue arc, a 9-issue arc? When did it start? It's New Guardians.
It might hold on. It might be 10 because 60 is saying
Yeah,
chapter 8. So it might by 62 it might
it's
be
a
10.
10-parter.
Yeah.
So 53 through 62. Yeah. I mean, what is it? Even a day passed since Blackest Night? I mean, I think time has passed. They said a week or two or whatever, but I mean, they've been standing around for 3 issues with the new the new Hope entity, and I mean, it just feels like it's treading water till Krona can show up and do. Sorry, spoilers. Well, the little short blue guy can show up and start something.
Exactly. Yeah, again, like I said, I think they're trying to keep pace with Brightest Day, and as we said, the pacing is not the
Yeah.
best.
Yep, I agree. So let's do this, man.
All
Let's
right.
jump right in.
Like you said, we'll wrap up New Guardians here. Green Lantern Volume 4, number 60 from January 2011. The New Guardians Chapter 8, Fear Factor. Writer Jeff Johns, penciler Doug Mank, inkers Christian Alamy, Keith Champagne, Doug Mank, and Sean Mall. So 4 inkers, one of whom is the penciler. Colorist Rod Reyes and Gabe Edelab. Letterer Nick J. Napolitano, and editors Adam Schluman and Eddie Berganza. Hal fights Parallax, who has taken the Flash as a host. During the battle, Hal taunts Parallax, trying to make him release Barry. Parallax exits Barry's body and tries to enter Hal's, but the entity kidnapper keeps him bound to the Flash's body. Hal tries to attack the kidnapper, but the mysterious being gains the upper hand. Suddenly, the Indigo Tribe, the Blue Lantern Corps, and Larfleeze appear to help. Meanwhile, Sinestro and Atrocitus are investigating the Butcher's location. Suddenly, Sinestro receives a message from Romat Rue saying the Weaponer of Cord is holding his daughter hostage. So yes, this is kind of bad tracking here, but yes. Trying to keep track of this thing has been...
Yeah, exactly.
You think this seems kind of weird now? Well, imagine if we really would have went in continuity. It would have been like, okay, here's an issue of Green Lantern, here's a Green Lantern Corps, there's a Brightest Day or two. Yeah, it really would have been dizzy. All right. So we're back to when the Weaponer Cord is holding his daughter hostage, Sinestro goes to address the matter, as we covered a few episodes back in Green Lantern Corps. The kidnapper forcibly removes Parallax, Proselyte, and Adara from their host and reveals his true identity, Krona. All right. Oh, remind me at the end when we're done with these. I did get feedback. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
And remind me after I have some questions about Krona too that I want to talk about.
Yes, no, it is Krona. It's not a pissed off Papa Smurf. No.
Yeah, where's his beard? Sorry, and his little hat. No, sorry.
All right, so yeah, thoughts on this again? We had the Flash yelling at Hal last time we saw them, and now he was possessed by Parallax.
Yeah, I mean,
which we keep coming back to Parallax, like they did it during Blackest Night. We're doing it again. I mean, it's like I don't know, like Parallax has become like, I don't know, like a, like over in Marvel, like a symbiote. Now everyone's got one. Now everyone has to be possessed by Parallax. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sort of get it. You're right. It is getting a little bit old, but I sort of get it that Parallax has a serious obsession with Hal, because of what happened.
Yeah. I mean, I get that part, but again, like you should feel, I mean, after Rebirth, they're like, oh no, it's like, Hal Jordan's back. It's a clean slate. He's back to, whatever. But then we keep bringing up Parallax over and over, and he keeps showing up, and it's just.
Well, yeah, and Hal's not Hal was he possessed Hal for the longest, but he possessed Kyle during, Sinestro
Mhm.
Corps War too.
That's what I'm
So
saying. Cow, now Barry Allen,
yeah,
the Spectre.
the Spectre. Yeah, we brought the Spectre back in. Yeah, which is interesting, because we've talked about how great the Spectre series by J.M. DeMatteis is,
Yes.
and you know how much of it is in continuity, how much of it is not, et cetera, et cetera. But it's for them to want to move on from that. You're right. They keep bringing Parallax back, and he's always straight beeline for Hal, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, and see, I don't remember a lot of War of the Green Lanterns,
Me
so
neither.
I don't know how much we're setting that up again, and also we're doing it a bit condensed, right?
Mhm.
So Parallax showing up again for Sinestro Corps War. That would have been literally years ago if you were reading the comic month to month,
True.
right?
For true.
So I kind of get it. I see, but I do see what you're saying because it's
Yeah.
anytime Parallax is there, it's like, ooh, Hal Jordan, got to get Hal Jordan.
Every big event now, Parallax has to show up.
Yeah, exactly. 0 hour.
I mentioned Rebirth, but yeah.
Well, speaking of 0 hour, there is a 0 hour 30th anniversary special, I think, coming out. Have you heard about that?
Oh no.
Okay, I'll have to send you the link on that. I think it's got a Kyle story by Ron Mars.
Oh, okay. They're putting one of those out. Yeah, because they were I know, well, a while back they were putting out 30th anniversary issues for Death of Superman, Return of
I
Superman.
think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I'll look that up. But
Okay. Yeah, that
I
sounds
think
all right.
I think it's coming out pretty soon. Um,
Hey, Will, you want to celebrate the 30th anniversary? The worst thing that's ever happened to you as a comics fan.
yes, please, let's do it again.
Well, I think, like you said, it's not as bad now that it's been
Yeah,
reversed, and yeah,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
it took 10 years, but
yeah, 0 hour occupies an interesting kind of place, um, in my mind at least, because we're going way off topic here. So because it really kind of solidified, hey, there's, there was no going back before, but now there's more no going back, right? Because
yeah,
and
I mean, I kind of like it for certain aspects, like the timey-wimey of some of it, but I mean,
yeah,
that thing, it angered a lot of people. I know, like you, it's like, oh, hey, look what they did to my boy. But then,
and then
I know Justin doesn't like it because he's a big Justice Society fan, and they basically just like massacred
slaughtered, yep,
society.
yep, exactly. And you know, it was it was it's really kind of a weird way. I mean, they just at that, I think Mars went out of his way to establish that Hal didn't consider himself a villain, and he was trying to do something that he thought was the right thing.
Hmm.
But this kind of moved him into straight up villain territory. I mean, he was killing people outright. Oh, I'll just fix it. I'll fix it in post. No whatever.
Well, yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, he was trying to destroy, the entire universe. He's like, I'll recreate everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fine. This is fine. This is fine.
I could give everyone a happy end. Yeah, it's like, no. That's not how this works.
Yeah, and I think it kind of started leading to, I mean, because at this time, at least me as a reader, I saw, Parallax is just really whiny. It's just like and it's like, and then after 0 hour, we get your boy, man, your boy blowing up Oa.
Oh, you mean trying to stop Hal Jordan from yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he checked to make sure that there was nobody on the planet at the time. But
Oh yeah, of course. Remember the Dark Stars? Whoever got out, all the everyone out of a mosaic. Yeah.
There's just so much weird stuff around 0 Hour.
I know. I know.
Yeah, it was a weird ride from Emerald Twilight to Final Night.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really was. And it wasn't that long of a ride because it was only like what, 3 years, 4 years? It wasn't.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And then he was the Spectre.
Well, yeah. Well, so first he was dead. They gave him the whole funeral and everything.
Yeah.
And then they they needed
And
a
then we
new
got
Spectre.
it was Days of what was it?
Day of Judgment or
Day of
something.
Judgment. Yeah.
But yeah, there was so much weird stuff. Remember that annual where Hal and Kyle switch places?
Switch places. That was what that came to mind. I'm like, that was really weird.
I'll never forget Alex. Well, you kind of did, Hal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was interesting. Good times.
Yeah, again, that's it's just a weird time in the 90s, because one, again, the 90s got darker and darker, and two, after Death of Superman, they had to give everyone their event, their own kind of event,
Yep.
Nightfall for Batman and Wonder Woman, and then I guess, oh hey, we're gonna make Hal a killer.
Yeah, let's do that. There we go.
But
well,
yeah,
although I will say something.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, yeah, Batman Nightfall.
Batman, my favorite character.
I will say that I loved what Barry said. I think in the previous issue, so in 59, Hal says you never liked Ollie, Green Arrow. He goes, no, I didn't like what he did to you, and he said he made you doubt yourself, which was I think a wonderful call out to the whole hard traveling heroes thing. And then him, why he was doing it was because he placed all of his insecurity and everything on you and made you doubt yourself. And I thought that was a really interesting observation.
Yes. I mean, I was just waiting for Hal to be like, no. You know what? That was just a weird time of my life. It was very spicy. The oregano had me going. How's that for a callback, kid?
That's a deep cut, man. Deep cut. One thing that I find interesting, I feel like Barry and Batman really have a lot more in common than Hal and Barry, because I've always seen Hal not as a beat cop, but more as like, just to borrow the phrase that Grant Morrison used, intergalactic lawman, like a sheriff on the frontier, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, Hal is basically just, he is like your cop, but I mean, they've been playing that up for the last like 5-10 years. It's basically just like, Hal and Bruce are basically like, they're into the science of it, the forensics, and yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was an interesting observation. And then of course Flash gets taken over by Parallax because of course, right?
Of course. Like I said, everyone has to have a turn, yeah.
Exactly. Except Batman.
Yeah. Well, he fought off a yellow ring, so
that's true. He did.
That was the closest he got.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah, and the whole Krona thing.
I
am not a guardian.
But now Krona does say some interesting things here. One, we get the panel of him looking, the classic panel from, we're talking early Silver Age Green Lantern here. What was that, number 7, 6, somewhere in there, right? Really, really early. But then we also, he makes some little things, who do you think captured the entities first? Who do you think built the science cells? Who do you think built, the rings, and who that was him, which is
Mhm.
interesting because we know that, and this is what I was going to actually bring up, but we might as well talk about it now. Krona in the Silver Age was like banished, right?
Mhm.
But Hal did interact with him back in the Silver Age. I'll have to look it up. I don't have it handy. In a really early Green Lantern, and I think he's appeared multiple times. So I guess I'm wondering. We know that him watching the birth of the universe happened because we saw that on panel.
Mhm.
We know that he did these other things. I think. Have we got to the point? I believe he reprogrammed the Manhunters to massacre Sector 666, right?
I don't know if we've mentioned that yet, but
Is it coming up? It may be coming up
it
in
might.
a
I would assume probably like War of the Green Lanterns, maybe.
yeah, because at some point, was that in Green Lantern Corps? Maybe that was in the last Green Lantern Corps. Maybe it's in the upcoming Green Lantern Corps. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's something I read recently. I may have read ahead a little bit.
Oh my. But but yeah, isn't that his hand? Like when he looks at the creation of the universe, is that because like isn't he responsible for creating the multiverse?
Maybe I don't
I
remember
thought they
if
said
that was.
something about him being responsible for creating the multiverse. So like, oh, you're the reason why we have Cord and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, yeah. He created the antimatter universe and the multiverse, but then also wasn't he in the Third Law pre-Emerald Twilight in that giant golden juggernaut looking thing? Was that
Oh,
him?
I think so. Yeah. Or like he is at least his was it actually him or was it his disembodied consciousness or I don't know. It's
Can't
something.
remember. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into that because I know he's been around as kind of a big bad
Yeah.
for a while. So, and I
Well,
really get the feeling that some of those things have not happened in the new continuity.
I was gonna say, I mean, we've had several universe rewriting crises like Zero Hour,
Yeah,
in
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Infinite Crisis, Not So
Yeah.
Final Crisis.
Oh, we have Dark Knight's Metal
Not yet,
and
but yeah.
not yet, but it's coming.
I'm trying to remember. Did Green Lantern touch on that? I'm trying to remember. Where were we at that point?
I think Hal ends up fighting like Dawnbreaker or something. I don't know. I haven't read them.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But that's like closer to, yeah, that was like 2019, 2020. So yeah, that'll be.
Mhm.
All right. So anything else on this first one?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, let's get to next one. Green Lantern number 61 from February 2011, The New Guardians Chapter 9, Seeing Red. Jeff Johns, Doug Menk again, inkers Kristen Alamy, Keith Champagne, Mark Irwin, and Tom Guyan. So we have some 4 inkers again, but I think at least 2 different ones. Randy Mayer, colorist, letterer Nick J. Napolitano, and Adam Shalom and Eddie Berganza, editors. All right. Oh, yeah, I have thoughts on this one. In a prison in the United States, a man is about to be executed by the electric chair. For his last request, he asks to speak to the father of the girl he killed. He taunts the father, saying she liked it. Suddenly, a massive bull made of red fire bursts through the door. The bull goes for the father, sensing great rage, and bonds with him, turning himself into Butcher. Butcher swiftly kills the murderer, but before he can do anything else, Atrocitus and the Spectre, who are both tracking Butcher, burst into the room. The Spectre wants him gone because he is the avatar of murder, while Atrocitus wants him gone because he is a loose cannon, quite at odds with the idea of an organized Red Lantern Corps. A fight develops, and Atrocitus is able to stop Butcher in his Red Lantern power, able to trap Butcher in his Red Lantern power battery, a fate the Spectre deems significantly righteous. However, the Spectre must now enact vengeance on David Kim for his murder as Butcher. but Atrocitus stops him, saying that the concept of eye for an eye is a joke when one victim kills for grief and another for pleasure. He offers himself in place of David Kim, and the Spectre accepts, only to step away, saying he has been told that Atrocitus' part in the holy mission against Krona is not yet done, and that when it is, the Spectre will be waiting. Yeah, so
I have a question about that too. So you go ahead with yours, and I'll follow up.
I mean, this was a good story, but I'm like, it almost feels like a fill-in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did the whole big, Krona cliffhanger, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna let you hang there for another month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the new Guardians we've already been. I mean, this is part 9. I'm like, really?
Exactly.
Maybe we could have done this a little earlier and then not broken up the Krona thing.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I do have a question though. The Spectre has absolved pretty much Hal of anything he did as Parallax, right?
Wait, what?
The Spectre, that wasn't Hal, that was Parallax, right?
Okay, yeah.
Why is the Spectre blaming the dude when he was possessed by the Butcher then?
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah.
I mean,
you're infected by an alien entity, just like Hal Jordan was. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could say, well, he really wanted to kill him anyway. And that
I
just
mean,
enabled him
yeah,
to.
I mean, I guess you could have some wiggle room to say, oh yeah, David Kim accepted him fully into his heart to murder this guy, but how Jordan fought it every step of the way, or so, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird kind of distinction to make, But now where so I was reading in this right here, and it included Dexter,
Hmm.
the Dexter origin story, which I think was in Tales of the Blackest Night, maybe,
I
or
think it was earlier. It was
Mhm.
before this. Yeah, so I guess in the the trade they basically just slip those backups in wherever they can.
I think so. Oh, this is where I read it. In the back of this, um, they have a little preview, 8-page preview of War of the Green Lanterns. That's where he reprograms the. It's like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and it's where Salak says. It's where Salak's talking to the. Wow, I don't know where this. Was this in, because it has Salak talking to the Guardians about Hal Jordan's instability. Was that in the last issue of Core, or is that coming up? Here, I'll show
I
you
don't know if
these
that's
pages.
coming up. I do know. I mean, Salak was telling the Guardians before about Howard Jordan's ring hasn't been logging any.
Yeah. So here's what I think. This is a preview.
It
War
might
of the
be,
Green
yeah.
Lanterns, and then we've got Krona and Ganthet. This is where the Guardians attack him.
Mm.
And then the next page is where he reprograms. It says he reprogrammed all the Manhunters for 666.
Oh yeah. You know what? Hold on. I think they did put some of that at the end of 62. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that recently. I think that is at the end of 62, maybe. Yeah. They do have. Yeah, that is right.
Okay.
Yeah, because after the whole scene with the Justice League at the end of 62, yeah, they do have that in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, hey, do we want to get to 62 now?
Sure. Yeah. Everyone's probably like, well, what's going on with Krona?
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. He just is looking for his beard and his red hat.
Oh. All right. All right. So, no. open up the issue first. All right, so Green Lantern number 62 from March 2011, The New Guardians Conclusion. Jeff Johns, Doug Mank. Yeah, it's weird because it's like 61. It seems like a fill-in, but it's still by Jeff Johns and Doug Mank. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not like they needed extra time. Again, unless were they trying to keep pace with Brightest Day or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, the inkers this time: Christian Alamy, Keith Champagne, Doug Mank, and Sean Mall. Colorist Rod Reyes and Gabe Edelab, and everyone else is the same. The battle with Krona continues. While St. Walker and Indigo 1 put Shane and Nicole to safety, Hal takes on Krona alone. Krona gains the upper hand, but Atrocitus uses the Butcher to attack him. However, Krona uses Ophidian, still using Hector Hammond's body to stun. Oh, there he is. To stun him while he takes the Butcher. Hal tries to attack him, but Krona simply knocks him out. Later, Hal awakens in the Justice League Watchtower while Superman, Batman, and the Flash see him. Hold on, I'm gonna clear my throat. Yeah, Superman,
Batman. My favorite character.
and the Flash see him. The Flash tells Hal that Krona fled into space with the entities. Suddenly, Atrocitus, Larfleeze, St. Walker, and Indigo 1 appear and ask for Hal's help in stopping Krona. Hal accepts, and Flash tries to convince him into letting the Justice League help him. However, Hal disappears with the other ring bearers. And then we get that couple pages of preview. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love the double page splash.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Krona's like, is that it, dude? Hal's basically giving him his best shot times 10.
Yes.
And Krona's like, is that it? Wow, how far the core has fallen. He's good at he's quite the trash talking little Smurf, isn't he?
He is. He is.
Oh, and there's a really good scene with Hal and Barry where Krona's like, he's got the crazy eyes. And he says, but they won't have, no one can stop me from cleansing the universe of the emotionally unbalanced. Hal says, I think the irony is escaping him. Which I thought was just a nice little thing.
I do find that ironic, that panel there when Hal's flying at him says, we're the good guys. We always win. He says, we're the good guys. Meanwhile, he's got Atrocitus and Larfleeze behind him.
Larfleeze, yeah, exactly. And Indigo 1, who
Yes.
was... Yeah. And there's Hector Hammond again.
Yeah, but yes, I mean, Krona basically just goes through everybody. Yeah, at first, when Hal wakes up with the Justice League, I remember reading this the first time that it was coming back to me. I'm like, at first I was like, is he dreaming this or something? But no, this I guess is actually how. Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah, that Hal Jordan was once the greatest, but in the wake of this war, he is now the most. So this is playing directly into Green Lantern #1, where spoilers. They bring in, that's Sinestro, right? Not as dangerous as me. So I don't know, he's seeing the future or something there, which I thought was interesting. And then what does he have? 4 broken ribs and a concussion.
I love Batman brings up Parallax again, and Hal's like, I was waiting to see how long the honeymoon would last since you came back. He's like, nearly a whole 3 weeks. Yeah, so and again, it's like we kind of wrap up, well, at least in this book, wrap up New Guardians and Brightest Day, and they're like right in the War of the Green Lanterns.
Yep.
They were probably waiting. They're like, oh, good, we could stop Brightest Day and just get right to War of the Green Lanterns.
Yeah, we can just get right to War of the Green Lanterns at this point. So, and honestly, I probably hadn't thought about Krona since the Third Law. And, leave it to Jeff Johns to go, oh, hey, he's a big deal. We need to address Krona. We need to bring him into a story and because he is, the original kind of big bad of the Green Lantern Corps, right? When you get right down to it. So Necron, Krona, all of these, long term, well, and Necron's only from the 80s, so, right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, bringing them in, I think is really, pretty amazing. And then the Quardians with Sinestro and the Sinestro Corps War, so he's been bringing in since Rebirth, bringing in a lot of the, for lack of a better term, those classic Green Lantern villains / antagonists, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But
Cronin's seen better days. He was looking a little more buff when he, hit
yeah,
the beginning of the universe.
he said he's not a Guardian, but he kind of looks like what happened, because the Guardians used to be like like human, like regular human size, but then when they became Guardians, they kind of shrunk down. It kind of seems what's happening to Krona here.
Yeah.
Maybe just working using all the emotional entities.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, I expect that we're going to get, and it's again, it's been so long since I've read it, I don't know this for a fact. We're going to get more information on Krona, what he did, what they did, and everything until the end of War of the Green Lanterns. And if I remember right, they can't use Green Lantern rings, so they have to use rings from the other colors, right?
Yeah. I think that's one of the big. I'm trying to remember. I think that's one of the gimmicks. I think that's the story where like Hal and John and Guy and Kyle all have like different color rings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think doesn't John go indigo?
Maybe I forget. We'll get there. Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
there's at least one upcoming cover where they're all sporting different rings.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. The 61, the Butcher issue just kind of felt like a fill-in. And when you get right down to it, this whole arc kind of seems like a fill-in. It looks like it could have been accomplished much more economically.
Mm-hmm.
But and maybe, and I don't know if this is maybe what they were shooting for. At this point, perhaps, if not sooner, they may have known about New 52, right? And if I remember correctly, War of the Green Lantern ends with something of a cliffhanger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Hal's drummed out of the Corps, and we get a new beginning. So we get a new beginning in New 52, Green Lantern #1. So I don't know if they were stretching the story to fit with that, upcoming hard stop and restart or not. I mean, I don't know, but it seems to kind of fit.
I mean, the cover dates on these were January, February, and March 2011, and what New 52 started. What was it? Was it October? I think 2011. So, I mean, yeah. So it was within a year. I mean, depending on when the actual date, within the year or maybe even less of New 52. So I'm sure they knew New 52 was coming.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, but again, that's not to say that this 10-issue arc of New Guardians is bad. It's just it seems a little bit too decompressed in my mind.
Could have been accomplished in what, 5?
I think so. I really do.
All right. Remember, I do have feedback here.
Yes.
From Tyler Ferguson, who sent us feedback before. All right. He says, timestamps were included in the first and third issue in this batch. Apparently, it's been 6 weeks since Blackest 1980 and 3 weeks since Batman came back to life. Those details were neat. Confrontation between Hal and possessed Barry was compelling. That moment where Parallax was goaded into leaving Kern Host vaguely reminded me of a Superman story they were in during DC Rebirth 2930. Enjoyed Larfleez's massive mace. The way he whacked Krona felt very Looney Tunes. Issue 61 was probably my favorite from this set. Good back and forth between Atrocitus and the Spectre on their ideals, as well as Atrocitus' kinship with David Kim over loss. Is there a story where Atrocitus faces the judgment set up here? I was trying to remember if that came. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, because things get weird with the Red Lanterns
mhm,
about halfway into New 52 because Guy comes in and takes over. And
yeah. Oh yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, like I said, I haven't even read that complete series. I've read some of it.
I just know that he's there. I
Oh
haven't
yeah, I've read
any
some of the
either,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good. But and again, New 52. I mean, maybe it will wipe the Spectre's memory too. Who knows?
Well, and I believe that isn't there a crossover at some point with Supergirl? Doesn't she join the Red Lanterns for a while?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we might have to do some Supergirl here. Yeah.
You bet.
And then you'll appreciate this. When was the last time Hal ate something? Might make better decisions on a full stomach. Dialogue with League after he wakes up from Krona's blast implies he's been running himself ragged for a while. Odd that Indigo 1 was the only one showing booty and splash page of lanterns affected by aforementioned white light blast. All right.
True.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, that was another thing. I mean, I don't know if that was meta commentary or what, but yeah, like the League, confronting Hal, saying, when's the last time you did anything besides be Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Because again, I mean, when's the last time he was back on Earth at the Air Force?
That was like right at the beginning of this arc, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, was it even? I thought it was
because wasn't he flying with Carol and Sinestro showed up, blew up his plane?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but was that even like Air Force related, or was that just Ferris aircraft?
Yeah, I think it was just they were out flying, chatting with each other.
So I was gonna say, when's the last time we actually saw like the general and
Oh yeah, Cowgirl. Carol mentions Cowgirl while they're flying, And the other thing, that kind of Sinestro makes his typical appearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hal doesn't typically fly with his ring, but he has it. Then I don't know if that's because he's on duty or not. I mean, I didn't know if that. I thought that was a little bit weird.
I mean, after Sinestro blows up your plane after the second or third time, you probably start wearing your ring on the fly.
Yeah, you learn a little bit. This is Hal Jordan we're talking about.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to go there.
That's all right. But you're a hero. All right. Anything else on these?
I think that's it, sir. I mean, again, this arc was a good arc. It's just that it felt really way too decompressed because I felt like we were treading water a lot.
It's almost like the main Brightest Day book. It's almost like things are happening around it. Like we got the mention of that Green Lantern Corps arc and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Things are happening around it, not to.
Yeah, and the only reason I think that we notice it so much is because it's coming off such, kind of defining runs before it, right? We're just coming off Blackest Night, and we're coming off, we're coming off with Agent Orange, Rage of the Red Lanterns. There's a Star Sapphire arc in there somewhere. There's great, Secret Origins. All of these great arcs, just one right after Sinestro Corps War. Just boom, boom, boom. All of those good things. And now we get one that's not necessarily as good as those. I think it's why we're picking up on it.
Well, like you said too. I mean, maybe they're just treading water till New 52.
Mm-hmm. It just feels like treading water.
Or at least, until we can get to, do our own little event again and don't have to be tied into the rest of the DC universe.
The universe, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so. But I am looking forward to rereading War of the Green Lanterns.
Oh yeah. All right. So yes, next week we're gonna wrap up Brightest Day with Brightest Day 19 through 24. So
6 issues.
yeah. And then in 2 weeks, yes, we will start War of the Green Lanterns Part 1 with Green Lantern Emerald Warriors 7 and 8, Green Lantern 63 and 64, Green Lantern Corps 58. And then Part 2 will be Green Lantern 65, Green Lantern Corps 59, and Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 9. So yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much it'll shift a little bit, but yeah, pretty much you'll get 1 or 2 every episode. You got 1 or 2 issues of Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors.
Nice.
Oh, and then in Part 4, the final one will be Green Lantern 67 and War of the Green Lanterns Aftermath 1 and 2.
And then something strange happens, right, Phil?
Well, first you get there's I don't know, kind of a wrap up arc for Green Lantern Corps and Emerald Warriors. But yes, no, then you get the Flashpoint.
What is Flashpoint? I don't remember it. That's because it didn't happen. Wait, maybe it did. I don't know. You tell me.
Nah, not anymore. They kind of backtracked on that without saying anything.
Yeah.
Well, eventually at the end, we just kind of try to blame Dr. Manhattan for that. So.
Is this the new Superboy punching a wall thing?
Pretty much. It was kind of I guess we'll get there when Rebirth starts, but I think they were trying to it was like Dr. Manhattan trying to steal 10 years of time, and that's what I don't know. So it's I guess they were trying to shift the blame off Barry Allen,
Did you ever read what was it what was the series that Johns did with I guess it was Gary Frank, the Watchmen series?
Oh, I mean they did it. I mean there were a few before Watchmen miniseries they did. Oh, I know what you're talking. Doomsday Clock, is that what you're talking about?
Doomsday Clock, that's the one. Yeah, Doomsday Clock.
Which was perpetually late, which is ironic with clock in the title.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, I think that was the whole thing when they were just oh yeah, he tried to steal time and stuff, and that's kind of their quiet little let's kind of slowly roll things back the way it was before New 52 and so yeah.
And then it wasn't too long after that we got DC Metal and then Dark Knight's Metal and then Dark Knight's Death Metal and
yeah,
the whole craziness from that. Yeah.
Because we had to just beat everyone over the head with Batman Who Laughs every 2 seconds.
Batman, my favorite character.
Man. All right. So so send us your thoughts. Just like Tyler did. Tyler Ferguson sent us his thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, get your brand new Capes Lunatics merch with the new logos on it. Again, you can rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Pretend we're dancing our way through medical school.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
So you rain random money on us or subscribe to the Patreon. You never know what you're going to get. The May episode is basically just Lilith and I talking about whatever we wanted to talk about. Just rapid fire topics. But yes. Oh, and oh God, the July episode, you're going to get something special. The secret road trip we're taking this summer. So we'll be recording while we're on our road trip. So
nice. Don't make me stop this car.
That's right. That's right. I'll be driving. All right. So yes. So subscribe to the Patreon. Find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this genius, this madman, Mr. Will Allred.
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Instagram and Twitter and all kinds of other places. If you'd like to find the books that I write, you can find Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. Thank you, sir. That's number 1 right there. I just did a final look over the letters and did a few edits. So we're going to hopefully be sending number 5 to the printer this week. Fingers are crossed. And if you'd also like to check out Diary of Night, you can do that at diaryofnight.com. And finally, obviously you have great taste. You're here listening to Phil and I talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices. I am God.
Hello, Papa Smith.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right. Come back next time. We'll wrap up Brightest Day. Watch Will shoot off confetti at the end of that one.
Yay!
2 weeks. We start our month-long run on War of the Green Lanterns.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Again, I think it'll be much more focused.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah. So, not too long here. We're going to be in at New 52 already.
Yeah, that's pretty freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then our progress will grind to a halt because we've got 4 books.
Right. All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, don't piss off Papa Smurf tonight.
That's right.